Hey, my friends, welcome back to Midweek. We're in a different filming location today. We're trying it out. We're in the office instead of the car. We'll see if we like it better. But today I want to talk about praying specific prayers to God. And so our verse comes out of Matthew 20, and it says this: "And behold, there were two blind men sitting on the roadside. And when they heard that Jesus was passing by, they cried out, 'Lord, have mercy on us, son of David.' The crowd rebuked them, telling them to be silent. But they cried out all the more, 'Lord, have mercy on us, son of David.' And stopping, Jesus called to them and said, 'What do you want me to do for you?' They said to him, 'Lord, let our eyes be opened.' And Jesus in pity touched their eyes, and immediately they recovered their sight and followed him." The story is so interesting because they knew who Jesus was. They had faith. They saw him rightly, and they knew he could heal them. And so they were calling out to him, but they were giving a vague request, right? "Lord, have mercy on us, have mercy on us." And then Jesus stops and says, "What do you want me to do for you?" Of course, Jesus knew what they needed, right? He's God. He knows everything. So it's not like he needed them to say it out loud for him, but I think he needed them to say it out loud for them, because he says, "What do you need me to do for you?" They give the specific request, "Let our eyes be open," and then he heals them. How much did their faith increase by them voicing their specific need instead of just giving a vague request, excuse me. "Lord, have mercy on us," right? So I think it's so important to pray specifically. And I think what we do sometimes, and we don't pray specifically, we pray very vague prayers. And I think it's for one of two reasons, or maybe both. The first one is, if you really love God, you probably have this conviction not to treat him like a genie or a slot machine, right? We don't want to run to God and just, "Give me this, God, give me this, God, give me this, God." And so I have that conviction as well. And so what happens a lot is we don't want to use him in a sense. And so we just say, "Whatever your will is, Lord." And while that can be born out of a right heart, and we should ultimately say, "Whatever your will is, Lord," I think he's asking us to give more specific prayers. And the second reason, which could be both maybe, is I think it's kind of a way for us to have little faith. So if you're needing a healing, but you don't want to ask God for a healing, because if you don't get healed here on earth, then maybe you're scared that your faith would drop, or you would be disappointed in God. I know I felt that before. I've needed specific things, and I haven't wanted to pray and ask God because I don't ever want to be disappointed in him. But the truth is, he's calling us out to give specific prayers. When he answers them, our faith is strengthened. When he doesn't answer them, our faith is strengthened. Even in his no, our faith is strengthened. But he's asking us to voice it out. It's so important to pray to him specifically because he is our Father who loves us, and he wants to bless us, right? And he wants us to grow in him through every season. And so it's good to be completely honest with God and not just say, "Whatever your will is, Lord." Yes, that's the ultimate heart. But if you were talking to your parent who loves you, hopefully, you would ask specifically. My daughter comes to us and says, "I want this, Mommy. I want that, Mommy." She doesn't just say, "Oh, whatever you want to give me, Mommy," right? And of course there's limits. It's a nuanced thing. We don't want her to be spoiled and just give me, give me, give me. But we also want to specifically know what she wants so we can bless her. So let me read a couple other scriptures to you to kind of bring this home a little bit. So it says, "Whatever you ask in my name, this I will do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If you ask me anything in my name, I will do it." That's John 14. And then it says, Philippians 4:6, you've probably heard this: "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, in prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be known to God." And I think there's one more I wanted to... And this is so interesting. John 16, "Until now you have asked nothing in my name. Ask and you will receive, that your joy may be complete." So he's telling us to ask. I don't think he's telling us just to say vague prayers, right? "Oh, whatever you need, whatever you want, Lord," and just kind of wait. I have noticed this in my life. I used to do the vague prayer a lot because as I mentioned before, I didn't want to be disappointed. I never wanted to be frustrated or angry with God. But can I tell you something? God can handle your frustration. God can handle your upsetness when things don't go the way you want, right? And even that you need to bring to him. So I used to pray like this as well. I would just say, "Wow, Lord, I need these things, but whatever you want." And he really challenged me this year to start praying specifically. And you know what happened? I saw so many prayers specifically answered, and my faith was increased so much because I would tell my husband, "I prayed for this today. I prayed for us to land a client today. And guess what? God came through today specifically." And it's not in a give me, give me, give me, but it's in a, going to a loving father and saying, Lord, you know I love you. You know my heart is for you, but we really need this. Can you give this to us? And so many times he does. And then your faith is strengthened. And that is how we actually know the Lord as provider, as Jehovah Jireh. We can't preach the Lord is Jehovah Jireh if he's never provided for us, right? And so how do we know that he provides for us? Well, we go to him and ask, and then we see his hand. We see him come through, right? So I hope this encouraged you today. Remember to pray specifically. Ask the Lord for what you're needing, and he will answer you, and he will strengthen you, and he will grow your faith when you see him come through time and time again. I pray your family as well. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one.